Welcome to lecture number 42. Today we will discuss heat pump and refrigerator. Already we have discussed about the working the cycle on which this heat pump and refrigerator work. Today we will discuss about the components and working principle of this heat pump and refrigerator, and we will also see the difference between a refrigerator and a heat pump and its components. So before going to this component, the what is a refrigerator or what is a heat pump, first of all, four fundamental questions are there. I have explained only three. One is out of this content, but still I will explain here. So three important questions is: number one, what is refrigeration? So refrigeration, it is a process of removing heat from a space or from a body and lower the temperature of the surrounding of that space and that body, and maintain of the temperature after a certain period. So that is known as refrigeration. Then what is a refrigerator? So it is a device which maintain the temperature below the surrounding temperature and also maintain up to certain time period. So basically it is an appliance or refrigerator or air conditioning system. I will explain later. It keep the food and beverage cool by maintaining a temperature below the surrounding, means ambient temperature, typically just above the freezing point. Similar type, what is a heat pump? Heat pump also a similar type of machine of a refrigerator operating in the same temperature, but the objective is different. I will explain in the next slide. It also does the same work what a refrigerator do, but the difference is the objective. So objective means in refrigerator the objective is the chamber, the low space we have the target, the low space how much heat we are removing. But in the heat pump we are doing the same means we are removing the heat to a lower temperature region than that of a surround high temperature medium. That means just like a winter heating condition, the surrounding temperature is very low, whereas the inside the room temperature is higher than that of the surrounding, and we are removing we are taking heat from the low temperature zone, means from the surrounding we are taking the heat and we are heating the room. So that is the major difference between heat pump and refrigerator. And one more question is there: what is the air conditioning system? So air conditioning system is working also same principle, but with some other additives. Like here we controlling temperature as well as humidity, air velocity, air movement and air quality, besides two more non-thermal parameter, that means sound and sound is the one more parameter, that is a non-thermal parameter which is also controlled by the air conditioning unit. So mostly our focus is to describe the working principle of refrigerator and heat pump. So the difference already I have explained. You can see the same principle it is working refrigerator heat pump. That means it's taking a work input to the machines and it is transferring heat from a low temperature body to a high temperature body based upon the second law of thermodynamics. But here in refrigerator our objective is the cooling space. That means inside the temperature. Just giving to example here, there is a summer session and winter session. In summer surrounding temperature is very low, very high, and we have to maintain the temperature around 24 to 26 degree temperature. So we are removing heat from this cooler space and removing to surrounding. So now it is a example of refrigerator principle. But in the heat pump the target is in a winter season the surrounding temperature is very low, means it's going below 10 degrees centigrade or less, but our room temperature to be maintained at 24 degrees centigrade. That means we are taking the heat from a lower temperature zone to a higher temperature zone. Our target is higher temperature zone, here our target is low temperature zone. That means here our target is QC, here target is QS. So these are the major difference between heat pump and refrigerator. The working principle is very simple: vapor compression refrigeration cycle. Based upon this cycle, this heat pump and refrigerator work, where there are four major components. You can see there is a compressor. From compressor it goes to a condenser, where the refrigerant it is compressed to a high pressure and high temperature and it becomes a superheated vapor. That superheated vapor now here rejecting heat to the surrounding, it becomes with the same pressure becomes liquid. Then it go to expansion valve where the pressure and temperature goes much lower, and the liquid, it becomes liquid, and some amount of vapor are due to flushing, and then it go to the evaporator with low temperature and low pressure where the heat is absorbed, and then again it come back to the compressor from the suction part. Okay, in this manner this cycle continues. Here a schematic diagram which is required to draw during the examination. That means from compressor it go to the condenser, then condenser to there is a receiver, which because after condenser there is becomes liquid and vapor. So from receiver only liquid go to the expansion valve. Then from expansion valve it becomes very low temperature and low pressure that go to the evaporator where the heat is absorbed, and it becomes it becomes vapor, and it go to the suction end of the compressor. So this is the simple vapor compression refrigeration cycle on which a refrigerator or heat pump works. So now a simple refrigerator. So you can see this is a schematic of a refrigerator where it is the inner part, that means inside the refrigerator. This is the evaporator, already talked about. This is the evaporator. That means from compressor, the compressor receives the vapor from the evaporator, because evaporator is the low temperature zone where we keep our food or beverage inside the refrigerator. Then it go to a high pressure and high temperature due to compression. You can see there are valve arrangement in the compressor. It go to a condenser. You can see the condenser is in the wall, or previously it was some wire meshes outside of a refrigerator. You have seen nowadays it was obsolete. So here heat is rejected. That's why if you touch the wall of a refrigerator, you will feel the hot, because here is the heat is rejecting to the surrounding. You can see here. Then there is the expansion valve. You will find here. So that expansion valve, it becomes this high pressure, high temperature. It becomes a low temperature. Sometimes it go below 0 degree centigrade. Then it keeps the cool in the evaporator inside the refrigerator. That means inside the refrigerator you will find the evaporator, outside you find your condenser and compressor. Here you can see, and expansion valve also near to the evaporator you will find. Okay, so if you more elaborately you see some few more components it is added to the system. You can see this compressor is here. From compressor it go to a condenser, and then condenser there is a expansion valve near to the evaporator where you can see the evaporator zone here. Then from evaporator it go to the compressor again. So by the way, by the medium you will find few accessories also there, that is just like side glass and some receiver. That means from the condenser liquid and vapor both come, so that's why there only liquid goes. So that means few more additional components also there for safety purpose and other purposes. So similar type heat pump already have described. That means you will see in the heat pump you have to maintain the room higher temperature than that of the surrounding temperature, so that it will absorb heat from the surrounding and keep hotter to the room required space. So few components of this system already discussed. Still major component is the compressor, which is the heart of the refrigeration system. It compress and expand it compress the gas, and both compression and suction both happen in the compressor. So here you will find the refrigerant is becoming from low pressure to high pressure. Then there is a condenser. You can see this type of arrangement. You can see this is the whole system where you will find the condenser here which rejects the heat to the surrounding. Then the expansion valve, you will find this type of arrangement, or sometimes only wires, capillary tubes also there, which reduces the pressure. HP to LP, it is the device which does this work. Then the evaporator will see in air conditioning system, the indoor unit you will find this type of heat exchanger over which there is a cover, but the internal section you will find this type of arrangement. So this is the evaporator. Then the important thing is this refrigerant, so which is we can say the blood of the machine. So this is the working fluid which flows throughout the machine from compressor and return back to the compressor. This is the refrigerant fluid, we call it refrigerant. So these are all the components, and these are the working principle whatever we have discussed. So with this we cover all this working principle of a heat pump and refrigerator. We have followed for these books for the preparing these lectures, and we'll meet in the next class. Thank you.